blissfully ensnared within the delicate bubble of our reality, dwell in utter ignorance of other realities, alien dimensions all around us, just beyond our comprehension. We go on about our daily lives unaware, teeming at this thin veil between realities. There lurk stark, strange beings of vast and cold intellect. They watch and wait with infinite patience for the conditions that allow them to tear into the fabric of our space-time continuum and menace us with their unspeakable needs.
The sun is bright in the sky as I gaze down the path leading to where the old stones stand. But the warmth does not dispel the gloom at the edges of me mind, nor does it warm the chill in me bones, thinking about that horror that lay down at the end of that path. The old folks, they won't talk about the old standing stones at all. And if they do, it's with wide-eyed caution and subdued whisperings. It's as if the very mention of it would conjure up some hellspawn minion right there on the spot. They believe it's an otherworldly place, and that something dark and evil lurks in the stones, hiding and waiting to drag the foolish into some black abyss. To us lads, the arrogant youth of the day, it was all nothing more than old wives' tales, and in ignorance, we laughed and chased our dark doubts away with a few pints.
So they don't say me.
The old men cast knowing, contemptuous looks in our direction, but we did not care. And still yet, for me, there was always a sense of foreboding about it all. But nothing they said could have prepared me for the sinking dread I felt having seen the place with my own eyes. We chanced upon it in the wee hours of dawn while out hunting. We don't know just how we managed to end up so close to it. I cannot put a finger on just what vexed us about the place. I can only say nothing strange happened to cause it, but an unnatural fear clutched at us like an icy hand in the shadows of that place. Oh, we ran. We ran like little children, chased to their beds by some night terror. Later, we got a good laugh at ourselves about it, but not one of us ever suggested going back there again. As the years went by, memory of the place faded, and as the old folk died out, so did the strange tales they would tell of the old stones. But I never forgot their old tales. And then, a fortnight ago, we were reminded of its presence again. 3 friends of mine, Ed, Tom, and Angus, went there, and only Angus returned. He came from those dread woods running so hard he stumbled into the cobble. Days went by, and the only explanation he would offer up was that a darkness took them. Suspicion began to grow among some of the townsfolk. It was clear to me, though, Angus was struggling with a darkness of his own. Whatever happened out there, it clearly broke his mind. I had to get down to the bottom of this, so one evening I happened by his cottage. His wife Lisa was concerned about him. She said he had been holed up in the cottage here, afraid to leave. She told me that all too often Angus would say that darkness was coming for him, and it terrified her. So I tried to calm her and said I would speak to him if he would. I sat a while and spoke of normal things, but he kept referring back to the darkness. When I felt the time was right, I asked,
"So, what is this darkness you keep telling me about?"
He was hesitant at first, but then he finally started talking and told me
the most frightening thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know what it is. I can't describe it. You know them boys, Tom and Ed. They've got the sense of a jackass, and was talking about going see them old stones them folks talk about. I shouldn't have gone. I hesitated, but I followed anyway. I wouldn't get close. But Ed, that dumb fuck, he went and touched that old stone. And then a black hole opened in the sky, and hell came out of it. Blackness was so dark, it hurt my eyes to look at it. And then it just spewed out the tentacles and drank them in. The darkness drank them in.
I sat there, stunned. To this day, it still defies reason. By and by, things went back to normal except for Angus. He was always looking into the shadows, the dark corners, under the bed. Lisa came by daily, and she told me he wasn't getting any better. He took to sleeping in the day in the sunlight, and standing his strange vigil in the night with a coal oil lantern. Then, one evening late, she came rapping at my door, crying that Angus started talking crazy and went missing, and took his kerosene lamp away in the night. We went and roused some folk and made a search party, and searched high and low, and by morning nothing was found, when someone suggested that we go to the old stone. Maybe he went back there. But we were not going to have to walk that gloomy trail after all, for on the second day of searching, Angus was found at Angler's Gorge, dashed upon the rocks below. The oil lamp he had been carefully set beside the bridge, and had by that time burnt itself out. It seemed obvious to us that he had hurled himself into the merciful rocks below to rid himself of his demons. I sat here pondering, how many eons had the stone stood there? How many countless lives had it touched? What was it? These dark things I pondered daily as life in the village returned to normal. I became a mirror of my own past. The boisterous lads of the day laughed callously at my old man's fear, while I cast knowing, contemptuous looks at them in their youthful arrogance and ignorance. As for me, I never returned to the old stones in the woods.